Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel, or of course welcome to my channel if you're new. If you are new, then hello, lovely to meet you. My name is Alex, and if you are new here, make sure you stick around and subscribe. If you're not new and you've been here for a while, then why not make sure that notification bell is switched on just so you're notified of every single time that I upload. Firstly, if I look a bit tired, a little bit rough, I have been wearing this makeup all day today, so if it's not up to scratch, then that is why. For today's video, we have review number 4 out of 5. If you watched yesterday's, we did the Chandler palette review, and today we are going to be doing the Ross palette review. We're also going to be testing the little mini Rachel fixing spray in this video as well, but mainly focusing on the Ross eyeshadow palette. So if you want to see what I think of these products, then please keep watching. So firstly, let's spritz some of this on my face. Now this is the Rachel Energizing Fixing Spray with hyaluronic and caffeine in it. This has 30 ml of product. These are marketed as a mini setting spray, so that's why they are quite small, and these retail for £6 each. This one has a sweet strawberry scent. Yeah, kind of has that kind of, it smells really sweet and nice, so I like the smell of that actually. Let's just spritz a bit of this on my face because I need a bit of energizing, you know, I need that boost. It kind of smells like fizzy strawberry, so I quite like that. The spray on these are like quite forceful, but they give out a really nice mist. So I actually really like these so far. I've tried the Monica one. I'm yet to try the Phoebe one, but we'll be testing that in tomorrow's video. Same as yesterday really, they don't give you like a super dramatic change or anything to your skin, but I feel like it's made me feel a little bit more refreshed and ready for the rest of this video. You can actually use those before and after makeup application, just to let you know, so they are kind of like a 2-in-1 kind of spray, which is good to know. And now let's dive into the eyeshadow palette. So this is the Ross eyeshadow palette, and the picture on here is of his like sofa in his apartment. As you can see by the colour story, this is the neutral one out of all 3 of the boy character palettes, and this is what it looks like up close. I feel like this one is going to be the most popular because it is that more everyday nude palette. These palettes also have a mirror in them, which is super handy. You get 9 eyeshadows in here, and these retail for £8 each. I don't think I mentioned this, but all of the palettes and the sprays in the collection are cruelty free and vegan, which is amazing if you only buy makeup that is either cruelty free and or vegan. So now what we've gone over the palette, the price, the packaging, let's get into the swatches. So this is the entire palette swatch. Those last 2 shimmers are just insane, like they are so pigmented. I love the shades in here. It would honestly make a really good travel friendly everyday sort of palette, or if you are like a neutral eye wearer, this would be absolutely perfect, I think. So I'm really excited to see how this performs on my eyes, so let's get into it. So for today's look, we're going to be doing something a little bit similar to the I'll Be There For You eyeshadow palette. Both of these palettes are the neutral ones out of this collection, so they are going to end up looking a little bit similar, but I'm going to show you what look I can create with this Ross palette. So firstly, I'm going to take the shade Keyboard down here, and I'm going to take that on a Morphe M456 brush, and I'm going to put this in my crease area. By the way, I have foundation and concealer on my eyes. Obviously I have had this makeup on all day, so I already had stuff underneath. So let's put this in my crease. Again, quite dusty. Okay, so this is what we're looking like so far. The shade isn't as pigmented as I thought it was going to be, but I think that's because it's like quite a light transition. So I'm going to take the shade Break, which is this one here, and I'm going to deepen that up. So to blend this crease shade out, I'm going to take a combination of Keyboard and this matte here, which is called My Sandwich. I do get that reference. And we're gonna blend out the crease. This is just on a Roxy, the fluffy blending brush that came in her set. I'm going to take Juice Box, which is the darkest matte in the palette. This is very kickbacky. I'm going to put this in my outer and inner corner to give it that depth. And I've also just blended this in my crease a little bit. And I'm gonna go back in with my original brush and also go over these creases a little bit just to add a little bit more depth. Okay, so I've spent some time blending out all of the shades. I'm having a bit of an issue with blending out my outer corner, but I honestly think that is my fault and not the shadow's fault, because obviously my base underneath was dry because I had previously foundation and concealer on underneath. If you had a wet sticky base, that would definitely be much better, but apart from that, really nice. I think the shades are really lovely and pigmented. So now we need to put a shade in the middle of my lid, and I'm going to take this shade here called Fossil. Okay, so that is the Fossil shade in my lid. It's definitely more on the chunky side of shimmers, so you're going to get a little bit of fallout with it, so just be a bit wary of that. If you've got your base makeup on already, you might get some chunky shimmer on your under eyes, because that is what I've got right now. So for my lower lash line, we've pretty much used all the mattes in here already, so I'm just going to take a little bit more of this dark one down here called Juice Box. And I'm going to put that all the way across. Okay, and then for my inner corner and brow bone, I'm going to take the middle shade here, which is called Dinosaur. This is definitely a different texture to Fossil. This is more like a normal shimmer. That shade is really pretty actually. I think it really stands out on the inner corner and brow bone. So this is my completed eye look. I'm going to now hop off camera. I'm going to put some mascara on and some lipstick, and then I'll be right back with my final thoughts. Right guys, so I'm back and this is my completed look. So I just shoved on mascara today just to be a little bit easier, and you know, not everyone likes to use lashes, so I thought I'd mix it up like I did with the I'll Be There For You palette. So I've just put mascara on today, and I used my Essence Lash Princess mascara. For my lips, I kind of took inspiration from the Ross gloss. In the first drop, they actually launched all of these glosses and just the female character palettes, and that's why we really wanted the boy palettes, because you've brought out glosses, we need the matching lipsticks and palettes. We didn't get the lipsticks unfortunately, but we did finally get the palettes. So I took inspiration from the Ross gloss, and I've got underneath, oh, it's right on my lap, the Maybelline Super Stay Matte Ink in 30 Romantic. I've used this so many times on my channel. I flipping love it. It's a very good staple bold pink lip, and yeah, I thought I'd pair them two together and they work really well. So this is my completed look. So let's sit down and talk about the Ross eyeshadow palette. So definitely complete opposite to the look we did yesterday with the Chandler palette. I love that they did a neutral palette, because if you've seen the Joe palette as well, that is quite bold and bright as well. So we do have the neutral option in the character palettes, which is good. I know obviously we have the neutral Forever Flawless palette, but these are two different price points and quality. So I'm glad they did one of the character palettes as a neutral palette, because obviously both of the other boys palettes are the complete opposite. I know the other female character ones are pretty much all neutral as well. I think the Phoebe one was a little bit more pastel, but you know, these are the three new palettes. I expected at least one of them to be neutral, so the fact that we have two colourful and one neutral, I'm super happy with. As I said yesterday, I love the packaging of these. I love that they're cardboard. I love that they match all of the female character palettes, and I love that there's a mirror in these. Like, it's the perfect size to do your eyeshadow. I love it. The colour story is so pretty. This is such a good everyday travel friendly palette. If I'm going away on a night out, I'm taking this with me because it's literally the perfect palette. It's got everything you need. It's got light transitions to darker browns. It's got beautiful gold shimmers. It's got a light enough shimmer for the inner corner and brow bone. It is literally my perfect neutral palette. I had a little bit of difficulty with the outer corners of my eyes, but I think that's my fault and not the eyeshadow fault. Considering I didn't have a wet tacky base on underneath, it actually performed really well. However, I know with a wet tacky base it would have performed even better. So this mistake in my outer corner is not the palette's fault, that is my fault. Apart from that, they're obviously quite dusty shades. I touched on that yesterday, but it doesn't really reflect in the quality of the actual eyeshadow on its eye. Like, the difference between the Forever Flawless and these character palettes are quite obvious. The Forever Flawless palettes aren't as dusty, but it doesn't mean the quality of these is extremely less than the Forever Flawless ones, because these are still really decent quality. If you are a neutral eyeshadow lover, if you're looking for a new travel friendly neutral palette, definitely consider picking this up. My only bad experience of it today was my own fault. It wasn't the palette's fault. I can't say anything else negative about it really. There was a little bit of fallout with the shimmer shade, but there is more of that chunky formula, so it is going to fall down, and that is pretty much it. So this palette gets a thumbs up from me. I will recommend it for you guys because I do feel like it's very good, especially for £8 as well. Like, I don't expect exceptional luxury quality with an £8 palette, but for £8 it's pretty damn good, and I feel like you should pick this up if you haven't already. So that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please let me know by smashing the thumbs up button. Let me know down below, what do you think of this palette and what do you think of the look that I created with it today? I would love to know. And of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.